you hear the phrase global perspective, what comes to mind? Well, it refers to the ability to understand the interconnectedness of different cultures, societies, and economies around the world, and the impact of global events on local communities. It's another episode of your program, Nimasa This Week. I remain your uncle, Moyoluwa Olutayo. Welcome on board.
Nimasa This Week. You are watching Nimasa This Week.
You are watching Nimasa This Week.
You are watching Nimasa This Week.
The voice of maritime in Nigeria.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We are number one.
Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
Welcome back. The Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, played host to a team from the Denmark Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The DG urged the international community to look into the continuous payment of war risk insurance premium on Nigeria-bound cargoes, despite the reduction in piracy within the nation's waters. The Director General was represented at the event by the Executive Director, Finance and Administration, Mr. Chudi Ofodile. Don't go away.
Dr. Dayo Mobriola, the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, has urged the international community to reconsider war risk insurance premiums on Nigerian-bound cargoes, citing significant investments in maritime security. Represented by Mr. Chudi Ofodile, the Executive Director of Finance and Administration, the DG highlighted declining piracy in Nigerian waters during a meeting with Denmark's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, led by Ms. Christine Skov-Spilling, urging a reconsideration of war risk insurance premium. He also informed the delegation of Nimasa's collaboration with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center to enhance maritime security in Nigeria.
Yes, we've had interactions with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. And we've had capacity building programs, in collaboration with Nimasa in maritime law enforcement. But unfortunately, we haven't seen a commensurate response in terms of reduction in the war risk insurance, the premium paid. I hope now with your visit that the Danish government will look into it, that there should be a direct response to show that the world, appreciates and recognizes the work that we've done in that regard.
While highlighting the positive impact of the recent media training conducted in partnership with the Kofi Annan Center, which has improved maritime reporting in Nigeria, he used the opportunity to seek for exchange programs with the Danish maritime institutions to enhance knowledge sharing and cooperation.
I think it was in November 2023 that we had this media training conducted in partnership with KAIPTIC. Since that training, there has been notable improvement in maritime reporting by Nigerian media practitioners. And it is important to note the role of the media, in maritime awareness. And Nimasa will continue to support capacity development in that regard. And of course, seek for more collaboration, as I mentioned earlier, with KAIPTIC for media stakeholders training.
Ms. Christine Skov-Spilling, leading the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs delegation, described the visit as an opportunity to learn from Nigeria's collaboration with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. She further stated that as Nigeria strives to address maritime insecurity, the response of the international community remains crucial in shaping the future of safer seas.
Nigeria is really the big brother in this in this sector and domain. The programs that are part of the overall engagement, one of them is with the UNODC on training and capacity building linked to maritime security. Another one is with Interpol, helping the law enforcement agencies at sea to do better sort of safeguarding of the crime scene, etc. And then there is the Kofi Annan Center doing training, but also research and capacity development with a regional perspective, so that the research they do can be used by all stakeholders. Also trying to enhance the use of the sort of institutional administrative frameworks that exist, like the Yaoundé architecture, etc.
The take home from the training for me is availability of information. We found out that a lot of maritime crime happening in the region is being reported wrongly and giving the international community a wrong impression about the region. You know, there are some crimes happening in the, let me say, brown waters, or so to say, in the inland waters. The media tend to report it as piracy, you know, and further creating that doubt internationally that the region is not safe. You know, we try to get that clarity. Where is the different zones, you know, and how to report those events.
Welcome on the program. The Planning, Research and Data Management Services Department of Nimasa held its 2024 National Statistics Forum in Lagos on the 6th of March 2025 with the theme, The Blue Economy in Nigeria and Global Perspective. The forum was declared open by the head of department, Mr. Olajide Owonubi, who acknowledged the executive management and the nation's commitment to exploring and tapping into the vast potentials of the blue economy through global best practices for sustainable economic growth. Stay tuned.
The Planning, Research and Data Management Services Department of Nimasa organized the National Statistics Stakeholders Forum in Lagos, focusing on unlocking the blue economy's potential for sustainable growth. Representing Nimasa's DG, Dr. Dayo Mobiriola, the head of the department, Mr. Olajide Owonubi, highlighted Nigeria's commitment to innovative solutions for a thriving blue economy. He emphasized the forum's role in fostering knowledge sharing, developing a sustainable data management roadmap, and leveraging collective expertise to drive long-term growth in the maritime sector.
The blue economy presents a frontier of development covering marine resources, fisheries, shipping, tourism, renewable energy, and coastal protection. As a nation with an extensive coastline and rich maritime potential, Nigeria stands to benefit greatly from a well-structured and properly managed maritime industry. By aligning with international frameworks and leveraging on research and data-driven policies, Nigeria can position itself as a key player in the global maritime space.
Participants were encouraged to share insights to drive Nigeria's success in the blue economy. Mr. Waniko M. Yaba of the National Bureau of Statistics delivered the first presentation on measuring the blue economy in Nigeria, the role of data-driven collaborations. He highlighted its significance, contributing about 5% to global GDP, according to the World Bank, supporting trade, food security, climate change mitigation, and economic growth. He outlined key measurement areas including marine fisheries, coastal tourism, oil and gas, renewable energy, and ocean surveillance. He also noted the federal government's plan to establish a single blue economy account via the National Bureau of Statistics to track its economic impact.
So what is blue economy?
generally. I would say that blue economy, from a natural perspective, has to do with exploitation, preservation and regeneration of oceans, water bodies. How do you exploit the resources that you have within the water bodies? How do you preserve those resources? Again, how do you regenerate? How do you keep them sustainable? These are the three concepts that are basically used when you talk about blue economy.
Ubong S. Uduete of the Central Bank of Nigeria presented Unlocking the Potential of Nigeria's Maritime Sector for a Blue Economy, emphasizing the role of accurate data. He highlighted the need to attract foreign investment, diversify port usage, invest in coastal tourism and maritime transport, modernize ports, and enhance data tracking, especially on seafarers' earnings and local content in oil and gas.
The blue economy creates jobs. So sustainable economic growth will have to do with the fact that there have to be jobs. And we've talked about it brings innovation, increased economic activity. Of course, our colleague just said that we are now looking beyond just mere shipping and maritime activity. So, of course, there are a lot of things that are coming within the blue economy concept. We talk about marine environment conservation, so it has to remain blue. We've talked about improved livelihoods. So it's not just about the people within the coast now, it's about the whole economy itself benefiting from what we have as a natural resource, which is the ocean itself.
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, in its quest to ensure the disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, has taken a major step this year. Nimasa, in a marine notice, announced that a credit facility not exceeding $25 million or its equivalent in an acceptable currency will be availed to qualified applicants to the CVFF. Applications for credit facilities under the fund shall be routed via a primary lending institution, and the applications shall be subjected to the specified risk acceptance criteria, and only qualifying applications shall be allowed access to the CVFF. To qualify for a loan or guarantee under the CVFF, an applicant shall, as a minimum, provide the minimum equity contribution of 15% of the credit facility request, provide any other requirements as the fund may demand. For further details, visit www.nimasa.gov.ng.
Still on the program Nimasa this week. On the SDG segment today, Mr. Taiwo Moshood, an Assistant Chief Marine Environment Management Officer with Nimasa, will be speaking with us on the 7th SDG, particularly as it plays a crucial role in the actualization of a viable blue economy regime. Don't go away.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are a set of goals set to ensure that the global populace has a minimum standard of living. And on this segment, we have been discussing various SDGs from SDG 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And on this edition, we'll be discussing SDG 7, talking about affordable and clean energy. With me on this segment is Taiwo Moshood. He is an Assistant Chief Marine Environment Management Officer with Nimasa. Taiwo, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Femi.
Once again, thank you for coming on this program. Now, affordable and clean energy is one of the critical SDGs. Can you explain to us, or for the purpose of the viewers and the listeners out there, what does affordable and clean energy mean, and how does it, interface with the maritime sector in Nigeria?
Thank you, Femi. Yeah, energy in a literal term is our ability to do work. So it's without energy, the world will slow down, and there will be no movement, there will be no progress, there will be no economic development. It's from all forms of energy that will be able to produce everything that we use in our daily lives. Even the plants use the chemical energy from photosynthesis to be able to give us the food that we eat, which we also convert into what we use to move around, to be able to do everything we want to do in life. So for the maritime sector, our role is to ensure that we do away with fossil fuel. It's difficult because it will be capital intensive to adopt the renewable energy that we're going to drive the shipping company and the maritime sector, but the government needs to show commitment. As a country, we've already shown commitment by, putting in place, establishing a full-fledged Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy.
Yes, I was going there actually. So now, talking about this Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, yes, we know the effects of blue economy on the, on the globe generally. It's like a new block. Everyone is talking about blue economy. And we know blue economy refers to oceans, economy, sustainability, and all of that. And I know affordable energy comes also from the oceans, right? So now, how can Nigeria, or particularly Nimasa, who is the driver of the blue economy in Nigeria, how can they fully harness these resources and make it affordable for Nigerians?
Yeah, as I said earlier, renewable energy are there for everybody to tap. But there are some technological scale that you must reach before you can tap it effectively. So one of the key things that as Nigerian Maritime Administration, where we are doing, because there are three key aspects to UNSDG 7.
Okay.
One of it is access to this energy. We want to make it available to people.
Okay.
We want it cheap for people. We want to make it affordable to people. The second aspect is the adoption, the use of renewable energy. So we want to do away with fossil fuel energy. So the solar energies, the wind turbines, we want to generate more energy from it. The world has already made serious progress on this, but we need to do more on this. Then the third one is energy efficiency, which Nimasa as an entity has already made a lot of progress, like in Marine Environment Management Department, where we implement the provisions of MAPO Annex 6, which is to regulate air pollution from ships.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Once again, I'm still going to come back about this blue economy, right? There are lots of potentials in the blue economy space, right? In the maritime space of Nigeria. Of course, we have the aquaculture, we have the fisheries, we have, like you talk about the wind turbines, and the gas turbines and all that. All these things can be, gotten from the oceans. Now, we are in an era where we're talking about potentials and potentials. How can government move from the level of potentials to reality in the maritime sector? Still talking about this affordable and clean energy.
Yeah, thank you. We need to really move to action.
Yes.
So from our side, we need to create policies. These are decarbonization policies to ensure that the shipping sector is decarbonized. So through this decarbonization, it involves the introduction of renewable fuels.
Yeah.
So this renewable fuel we are talking about, some of them are available, have been tried and working. We need finances to be able to put in place the necessary infrastructure to make it work, and then to put it at a scale. It's not about being available for just some people. We need to make it available at a very big scale, because shipping is huge and they need huge volume of fuel to drive it. That's a check on everybody, because we need to check ourselves. The global community need to recheck their reforms. They need to check their governance model that they are currently running. By 2030, if we continue the way the business as usual model that we are running now, there will be more disasters, because the climate impact is already there for us to see. The heat waves, the flooding. We are seeing some environmental disasters that we've never experienced before. So if we don't stop burning fossil fuel, if we don't stop all these our activities, it's going to continue beyond 2030. So we need to reject these our systems. Everybody must refocus and rededicate themselves to the goals of the SDGs.
So all hands must be on the deck.
And attitudinal change. We must all change our attitudes, because we are contributing in one way or the other. The more we generate waste, the more emissions. The more we keep being wasteful, the more emission we keep doing. Because if I'm wasteful, if I'm buying what I don't need, it means the production company will keep running on this power plant and then they will keep burning fossil fuels.
Exactly.
So we need to do away with some practices that is not healthy for our environment. Without this God's gift environment, the seas and oceans, there will be no food, there will be nothing for us. So we need to appreciate this gift from God and then save it for ourselves and for the future generation.
Thank you very much, Taiwo, for joining us on this segment. Thank you so very much. You've heard it all, dear listeners out there. The maritime sector has a whole lot of role to play in ensuring we have affordable and clean energy. As we've heard from the mouth of our hosts, of our guests rather, he has said that Nimasa is doing a whole lot and is also calling for all Nigerians to join hands together with the federal government to make sure that we have affordable and clean energy in our environment. Once again, it's a wrap on this segment. My name is Femi Kumuyi. I remain your host. See you next time.
In commemoration of the 2025 International Women's Day celebration in Nigeria, themed Accelerate Action, the Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA, has called for more participation of women in the maritime sector, while also canvassing equal opportunities for the female gender, in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Speaking at a sport event to commemorate the day, the president of WISTA, Dr. Odunayo Ani, also called on the women to embrace regular exercise in order to remain healthy while maintaining a balanced life.
The theme of this year for International Women's Day is Accelerate and Activate Action. So we felt we needed to encourage ourselves, we needed to bond, we needed to collaborate with our sister organizations. We've done healthy competitions, there will be winners, very soon we'll present the awards. Some people play Scrabble, some people play Ludo, some people play Ayo. All is geared at forming and bonding together, so that together we can do business together, we can share knowledge together, and we can be better together. All I will say to the women is, together we can do more, we should be resilient, we should be studious, we should give our best. So on this occasion of the 2025 International Women's Day, I want to say Happy International Women's Day to all the women. Accelerate action.
And my message to the women all over the world is to keep on moving. Women, we need to be in good health. We need to be in good shape to be able to balance our work life and social life.
Vessel operating coastal voyage in Nigeria must mandatorily have on board the following: vessel logbook, vessel port of call, vessel particulars, which include registry certificates, safety equipment certificates such as safe manning certificates, builder certificates, load line certificates, tonnage certificates, radio certificate, insurance certificates, classification certificates, passenger ship safety certificate, service certificate, cargo ship certificate, and waiver certificate or receipts. Vessel owners, captains, shipping agents, and members of the public are advised to note and comply.
That's all on today's episode of Nimasa This Week. Thanks for watching. Stay connected with us on all our social media platforms for more maritime stories and insight into maritime world. Until we meet again next week, fair wind.